A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science. And students, welcome back to the online classes here. As you know, we were into the sixth chapter, and that sixth chapter I have finished it. I had given you certain assignments regarding that particular chapter. And from today, basically from this particular lecture, I am going to start your revision for your unit exams. As you must be knowing, you are having your unit exams from 17th of this particular month, that is September. And regarding that, you have already received the timetable as well as the upcoming syllabus for the unit exams in your class WhatsApp group as well as in your software or the homework portal. So today I shall be starting the chapter once again, that is the constitution, why and how. But when we started our syllabus, we were unaware about the new revised syllabus given by the CBSE. But now we have the new revised CBSE syllabus, which I have also sent the PDF to your class groups. I hope you must have gone through it properly. So many of the topics from this chapter have also been deleted, and many other chapters, some topics have been deleted, and somewhere some complete chapter has been deleted. So I hope as a student of political science you must have seen your this new syllabus properly. So today I'm starting this chapter constitution. Now this chapter, why and how had they have removed, they have just kept the name, that is constitution. And second chapter, that was in relation to the rights in the Indian constitution, they have merged with this chapter. So we are doing chapter 1 and chapter number, we can say lesson number 2, and this all is now chapter number lesson 1 according to the new revised syllabus, chapter 1 plus chapter 2, but some topics have been deleted. So we are going to start the first topic today, which is important and in your syllabus for this new session: meaning of constitution. Before starting the chapter, that is constitution, from the very junior classes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, in all the classes you have read this in the civics textbooks regarding the constitution. The very basic and simple definition you must have been read and you must know it. It is constitution is the basic set of rules and regulation according to which our government or we are governed. So this is the basic simple definition for the smaller classes, but as a student of political science you must have the complete understanding of the concept of constitution. So I have written two broad definitions for you. So I am starting with this first definition in relation to the constitution. So, a body of fundamental principles or established precedents according to which a state or other organization is acknowledged to be governed. Okay, so a body of fundamental principles. So, constitution is a fundamental principle, a body which is having some fundamental principles. In Hindi, these principles we call siddhant. On these principles our constitution is based. This is the base of our constitution, so it is called fundamental principles or established precedents, already established rules, regulations, provisions which have already been established. According to these fundamental principles and these established rule regulations, we have to govern our various organizations, and accordingly we have to be governed. So this is called the meaning of constitution. Look at the second definition now. A constitution is a written set. It is very important. Our constitution is a written set of laws and fundamental principles. It is a written set of rules and regulation. It is a document, or it is a book, we can say. It's like a book where all the rules, regulations, all the articles, provisions are written down, according to which the people or our government are to be governed and how they have to cooperate with each other. All these things are written down in the written form in our constitution. So it's here, a constitution is a written set of laws and fundamental principles to develop a relationship, and these written sets and the laws are written in such a way that they form a good relationship between the people and the government, because there should be a coordination between the people and the government, so they can understand what are the important provisions to govern themselves, which comprise a number of articles about the state. So various articles are there where they can state and the government or the people can have a good relationship and coordination among themselves, so that there can be a smooth governing and functioning of our country. So in the introduction part, I just gave you the meaning of constitution as you already know it. But I told you, as a student political science, you have to be a bit professional towards our subject. So you must have to know some good definitions of constitution. Although I know you know the meaning of constitution very well. So the important topic of our syllabus now is, and this particular chapter is, why do we need a constitution? If we are talking about the constitution, it is a set of principles and established precedents according to which a state or any organization is acknowledged to be governed or to bring a good relationship between the government or the people. All this, why we are reading? So it's written, why do we need a constitution? What is the need of the constitution in our society or in any country? Okay, so in terms, it can be a direct question also. What are the functions of the constitutions? So in this chapter or in this video, I'm going to discuss the 5 functions of constitution which are important, and these 5 functions will only say what is the need of the constitution. So we'll come to know what do we need, why do we need a constitution. So there can be a question, why do we need a constitution? So you write all the 5 functions, important functions of the constitution, or there can be a direct question, what are the functions of the constitution? So I'm starting with the very first. It's written, constitution allows coordination and assurance. So it is only this document which we call as constitution. Because of this, we can see the coordination and assurance among the people in the society. Because especially if I talk about the society of India, we are having so much of diversity in terms of language, caste, or religion, professions. So there is always so much of diversity among people living, although they are neighbors, but it's still there is a lot of diversity. So when there are so many different sort of people, and to bring them together and give them coordination and assurance, so this is the job of our constitution, to give some set of basic rules according to which there can be a coordination and assurance among the people of our society or the citizens of our country. So if I talked, if for example you are having a football match, in that football match there is a school's participation, one is your school, one is the other rival school, and you are having a match, and definitely you everyone is playing to win the game, but there are basic certain rules according to which you have to play the game. It is not that if there is a football, you will push someone, you will hit someone, you will pick up the ball with your hand, you will start running. There is some set of basic rules for that particular game, so that there can be the smooth functioning of that game. In the same way, for the smooth functioning of our society, especially in India where there is so much of diversity, there is a requirement of some basic rules and regulations, and these basic rules and regulations are only called constitution. So and these basic rules which are written in the constitution, they bring coordination and assurance, and builds a good relationship among the people, as people have to know that what are their limits and what are their territories, according to which rules they have to behave. Same thing is written here. As you know, people from different religion, age, gender, and profession come together. If so, there will be so much of diversity in relation to religion, caste, age, gender, professions. Automatically, there will be lot of different opinions on a particular topic. So bring them together. It is the job of our constitution through the basic rules and regulation. Okay, that's why it's written, coordinate and assure them, agree on basic rules. They all have to agree on the basic rules, and these basic rules are the constitution, and known to all members, enforceable, and everybody should know that these rules, basic rules, are enforceable. If they don't follow these rules and regulation, they may be punished, so they are enforceable. For example, classroom, society, where we can see so many diversity, but there in the classroom also there are students from the various different backgrounds, but there are some basic rules in the classroom according to which you have to behave, you have to enter the class, you have to study in the class. Okay, so it is these basic rules are very much important to bring the coordination and assurance among the people of our society. Then the question arises, what will enable the group to live together peacefully? What is that thing you think that helps a particular group to live together peacefully? This is a question for you. So we can say the first function. So the first function of the constitution is to provide a set of basic rules that allows the minimal coordination amongst members of a society. So when the question will be there, you don't have to describe as I have shown you the functions. You have to write short and you have to give the quality answers. So you will write, the first function of the constitution is to provide set of basic rules. So it is a duty or the function of the constitution to provide some set of basic rules that allows for minimal, so that there can be a coordinations and build of good relationship among the people of the society. So coming up to the second functions of our constitution, the second important function is specification of decision making power. It should be very much specified in our constitution, which is a written document, I'm saying, according to which our people are governed. So it should make a clear specification that who are the people, who are the authorities who are going to make various decisions in a various sectors. So these specifications are very much clearly demarcated in our constitution, whether be it our government, whether be it our executive, judiciary, election commission, or etc. In the various, or talking about the parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, everywhere these specifications are clearly given in the constitution, that who are going to take decisions or who are going to make the decisions in the society or for the welfare of the society. Constitution is a body of fundamental principle based on which rules are formulated, a state is constituted and governed. So constitution is a fundamental principle based on which rules are formulated. It specifies the basic allocation of power in a society. So our constitution, it is the function of the constitution that it will clearly demarcate that who is having the which power, who is the authorized person or the authorized sector or organization to take decision. Okay, specify who has the power to make decisions in a society. So all these is the functions of our constitution. So in short, we can say the second function of the constitution is to specify who has the power to make decisions in a society. So it is the constitution who clarifies that who has the power to make decisions in our society in the various sectors. It decides how the government will be constituted. It also decides how our constitution will be formed, how our representatives will be elected, how will we have the power to vote. Everything has been written down in our constitution. So we can say specifications are made in our Indian constitution regarding the decision making or giving powers. Third is limitations on the powers of government. As I am talking that there are various written set of principles and guidelines according to which our people are governed by the government. So it is not that government can misuse its power or government will have all the authority. So it is very important to have some limits on the power of government as well. Okay, government is playing the very important role to execute and implement all the basic important developmental programs for the society, but it is also on the other hand important to keep some check on the powers of the government, where they cannot exploit the basic rights of the citizens. So this is done like a government should not prohibit you from practicing your religion. If some powers are given to the government, it does not mean that it can order any person or it can order any community that they cannot profess or they cannot practice a particular religion. They cannot, if the government cannot challenge that this group of people cannot wear this color of clothes or this type of clothes, or the government has no power to say that no people can sing certain type of songs. So in the sense, we can say our constitution has provided some set of fundamental rights, 6 fundamental rights we will be studying in this chapter further. So according to these fundamental rights, there is a check and balance on the powers of the government as well, so that government does not exploit the basic rights of the citizens. So there are certain limits put on the government as well, and these limits are put by giving certain fundamental rights and important fundamental rights for every citizen of our society. So in the short, again, as I told you don't have to explain so much in the answer. There will be a 2 marks question or 4 marks question, so you don't have to tell a whole story. You have to write the quality answers. You have to write to up to the required points. So the third function would be, which I explained you. So the third function of the constitution is to set some limits on what a government can impose on its citizens. So there is requirement of putting a limitations that what government can impose on its citizens, and this limitation can be put only when certain fundamental rights are given to the citizens of our country. These limits are fundamental in sense, and government may never transpass them. So these fundamental rights cannot be trespassed by even by government. Coming to the fourth and the important functions of our constitution is aspirations and goals of the society. Of course, as I told you, our constitution is a written document which is following a certain basic principles according to which our government is governed or the people are governed of our country. but after that also there are various some aspirations, desires, aims, goals of the citizens of our society. So it is also the functions and duty of the constitution to fulfill all the desires, aspirations and goals of the people of our society. To fulfill the aspiration of the society and create create conditions of a just society. So constitution should be function in such a way that there is always a just society in which every citizen is equal, there is no discrimination on the basis of class, religion, language, etc. Older constitution limited themselves largely to allocating decision making power and setting some limits to government powers. If we talk about the old constitutions, so they were only I would say they were only limited up to the, they used to look after the decision making, who will have the power to make decisions in the various sectors, or they used to put some limits on the powers of the government. But if we talk about the modern constitutions, like constitutions, successful constitutions like India, now constitutions have started working to fulfill the desires and aspirations of the people, or to achieve the aims and goals of the people in the society, for which like it's written here. But many 20th century constitution, of which India constitution is the finest example, as constitution empowers the government to take positive measures. Now constitution has empowered our government as well to take positive measures to overcome forms of inequality. If there is any inequality, any deprivation, or some people are deprived of the basic rights of the humans, in this way constitution had given powers to the government to improve the situation of our society, to fulfill the aspiration of the people. We were having the caste discrimination, so there was many provisions put to remove the untouchability. So these were some of the fundamental or we can say directive principles of the state policy, according to which many rules, regulations have been brought by our government to bring positive change in our society. So this is the difference between the old constitution and the new constitution, as new constitution always try to fulfill the aspirations and goals of the citizens of our society in some way or the other. So in short, we can say the fourth function of the constitution is to enable the government to fulfill the aspiration of the society and create condition for the just society. Now coming to the last and the fifth function, which is given in your NCERT books. Okay, this is fundamental identity of the people. So it is also the function of our constitution to provide a basic or the fundamental identity to its citizen. What is our identity? If we talk about our identity of a particular individual, we have three type of identity: political identity, moral identity, and national identity. And all these three identities are provided to an individual or a citizen only by the constitution. So here constitution plays a very important role in providing a identity to a citizen. So this means that people as a collective identity come into being only through basic constitution. So here we are getting a collective identity. If I talk about the identity of each and individual, it will be impossible to identify crores of people. So through constitution, through basic following through basic set of rules and regulation, and agreeing on to be governed according to those basic principles or rules and provisions, we are getting a collective identity. Okay, through basic constitution, if we are following basic laws or basic rules of the constitution, we are getting the collective identity. Okay, so this is called political identity, when we are ready to be governed by the basic laws and provisions given in the constitution, according to which the whole of our individuals are come into the collective identity. It is by agreeing to the basic set of norms about how one should be governed that one forms a collective identity. As I explained here, how we will get a collective identity? When all of us will agree on the basic set of norms or rules according to which we will be ready to be governed, and these basic rules are written down in the constitution. So it gives the collective identity to the people, or we can say it is a political identity. So as we know, every religion has different moral values. If you read the religious or the holy books of Christians or of Hindus or of Muslims, all those books have certain basic moral values in it. Accordingly, we have inbuilt our personality according to those moral values which we have also learned at our homes. In the same way, there are some basic moral laws according to which we are ready to be governed in our society as well, which is written in the constitution. And so we can say constitution is also plays very important role in providing us the political identity, moral identity, and national identity. When you will go out of India, your identity will be recognized as Indian, because you have got this identity from the constitution of India, so your national identity will be Indian. So these were the important 5 functions of the constitution, and I shall be giving you the assignment based on this particular assignment. Till then, thank you. I shall be doing the next important topics in the next video. Thank you.